here is every single thing new with AirPods 4. Before we get into the nitty gritty here, be sure you subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Apple news. So Apple's AirPods lineup is getting majorly upended as Apple is discontinuing both the AirPods 2 and AirPods 3 from the lineup. Replacing them are two versions of AirPods 4. In most ways, the AirPods 4 are steps up, but they're at least a couple small steps back too. It's also tough because some features in AirPods 4 are entirely new, while some are in AirPods 3 and still more were present in the OG AirPods. So I'll try to make this as clear as possible on what is and isn't actually new here, starting with the similarities on the AirPods 4 and AirPods 4 with ANC. Starting with the design, which is Apple's latest attempt at an open air design, meaning they lack the silicone ear tips found on AirPods Pro. Both versions of AirPods 4 have the same physical shape, which Apple touts as its most comfortable ever. It's a little more rounded and has a different arrangement of sensors compared to the AirPods 3 that it's most similar to. I actually wasn't a huge fan of the AirPods 3 shape, so I'm hoping this is better. Speaking of sensors, the new model uses in-ear optical sensors to detect when they are in or out of your ears, which will then play or pause your content. AirPods 2 use similar optical sensors, but AirPods 3 had improved skin sensors. AirPods Pro have similar skin sensors, so I see this as a little step backward as they could technically get triggered in your pocket. They have 4 stems, which is the same as on AirPods 3, but it's better than the tapping gestures on AirPods 2. You can use these to control playback, switch audio modes, or answer calls just by squeeze. Audio quality on these should be good, if not as good as the AirPods Pro 2. Apple says they have a new audio architecture for their best open air sound yet. For durability, the new AirPods 4 have IP54 resistance, which encompasses dust, water, and sweat. AirPods 2 had no promised durability, while AirPods 3 had IPX4. The 4 represents the limited water and sweat resistance, while the X mean it wasn't tested for dust. That should make the new model just a bit more protective against those small particles. They slot into a redesigned charging case that Apple says is its smallest to date. Of course, they both charge over USB-C. Oddly enough, Apple doesn't include a USB-C cable in the box. Do you think Apple should have put that in there? I mean, most everyone should have a USB-C cable at this point, right? Especially if you have an iPhone already. It seems a little unnecessary to include it, but also kind of cheap. Let me know which side you are on down in the comments. Include it or not include it. So the upper tier version of AirPods 4, the one with ANC, also include wireless charging in the case. They can be charged on any Qi charger or on an Apple Watch puck. Since the case is so small, Apple actually had to remove the MagSafe charging. They'll still charge when placed on a MagSafe puck, but they'll lack that magnetic alignment component. It's a minor inconvenience considering all the other improvements. The new iPhones, though, have faster 25-watt MagSafe charging. If you want to learn more about that, check on the video I've linked here. The upper tier version also has a speaker in the case for Find My. It doesn't have the U1 chip like AirPods Pro, but it will make it easier to find overall. On the topic of charging, both versions offer 30 hours of total playback time, including the battery in the case itself. AirPods 3 matched that, while AirPods 2 only had more than 24 total. On a single charge, the earbuds themselves will go on for 5 hours. That's the same as AirPods 2, but an hour less than what AirPods 3 offered. Internally on these earbuds is Apple's latest H2 wireless chip, which also upgrades the Bluetooth support to version 5.3, up from 5.0 on both models. The new chip powers improvements for Apple's digital assistants. For example, you can also now say just Siri instead of Hey, Apple Assistant. There's also hands-free commands now. You can nod or shake your head to respond to Siri. And that works for any request that you get from Siri that can be responded to in the affirmative or negative. Your voice also sounds better. The H2 chips with voice isolation, removing background noise. The last new software feature on both of the AirPods 4 is personalized volume. This will adjust the volume based on where you are and your past preferences. So that covers all the improvements to both sets of AirPods 4. Now let's talk what's unique on the upper tier model. The biggest of which, as you know, is active noise cancellation. This is the first time Apple has introduced ANC on an open-air design. It has better onboard microphones that are used to help reduce background noise. That means they have transparency mode too, letting in the world around you when you need to. You can switch these modes manually, but they do support adaptive audio, which switches modes for you. Finally, there is conversational awareness, which will lower your media volume when you start talking to someone, then bring it back up when you're done. The basic AirPods 4 come in at $129, while the ANC version are $179. These are similar price points compared to before, even though AirPods 2 could have always been seen for as low as like $80. Then again, they've been out for years. If you want to pick up either of the new earbuds, there are links in the description. Let me know if you're going to buy either of them, or maybe you're sticking with AirPods Pro. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.